J. Jonah Jameson with...
touch me.
I'm sorry. I'm your friend, the neighbor, Spider-Man.
He assaulted me.
No, I haven't.
Line is finally moving for Stephen Amell. And my phone battery is about to die down also, so I hope I make it.
Musical concert, check. Restaurants, food trucks, check. Attendees, check. Shenanigans, also a check. Spider-Man taking a break, check. A statue museum, check. And of course, the cosplay competition, which was a feature of last year's Comic-Con Arabia, also check. In this vlog, I'm going to be exploring whether this year's Comic-Con Arabia was really a Comic-Con or was it just an anime or a manga con. Stay tuned.
I reached Comic-Con too early, before 4. So that's why I ended up sitting outside. Let's see how this plays out this year. Going in line to get inside. So finally entering Comic-Con Arabia. They opened up gates on time. Let's just see how it goes. There's a little bit of presence of DC and Marvel celebrities, unlike last year. So let's see.
Judging through observation, the number of attendees on Thursday were not as much as I was expecting, or even if I compare it with the attendance of Stanley SuperCon. However, the decor, the branding was pretty good, professional to say the least. The initial impression that came in that it was much more spacious than last year. Last year it was very claustrophobic, if one might call it. So here we would find the entrance to the Comic-Con, and there was a booth of Cosplay Central, but there was nothing Cosplay Central happening over there. And as you can see, these are all sponsor booths, which included Cadbury, Rani. But my interest was to see that what was the level of participation of superhero fans. As you can see that all ages, both genders, old and young, all nationalities, they just came in their full DC and Marvel colors. Just look at this wonderful, wonderful Wonder Woman. And then we had celebration of other American pop culture, like Mo Sultan over here dressed as King Kong, or the Tayyib family dressed as the Batman characters. Here we see Oracle, female Joker, and of course Batman Ninja. Batman Ninja being our very own figures master. And then I came across this wonderful cosplay of Daredevil, where the costume is inspired from the one we saw in the She-Hulk series, the yellow and brown. This is the level of dedication that superhero fans show. And speaking of yellow, I also came across this life-size Pikachu, the Batman who laughs. Just look at the attention to detail for the costume, just to give as real of a feeling as much as possible. And some just came in with the straightforward superhero t-shirt.
And now we have Mr. Hardin, a legend from the comic book industry in the United States. He is an artist, a wonderful illustrator. He brought a special Comic-Con Arabia Incredible Hulk illustration along with other collectibles which he has been signing for all of the fans. But today I want to introduce him to you as the artist who has worked on the critically acclaimed Harley Quinn series, in which he worked with Marvel Knight Jim Palmiotti and his wife Amanda Connor. So
Yeah.
Mr. Hardin,
Hello.
how has your trip been till thus far in Saudi Arabia?
It has been wonderful.
And
I've been working. I'm ready to drop. I'm exhausted. I look here. I got a double espresso. Just right now it's so hot it burns my lips. I'm gonna just let it cool down, and then I'm gonna chug it so I keep my eyes open.
what has been your reaction to seeing so many fans of Harley Quinn approaching you?
I was shocked. I don't know why, but I mean, until you visit a place, you don't know what to expect. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I just didn't know that there were this many comic fans here. I think it's great. And I'm so thankful that you guys brought me out and you've treated me so well and everyone's so friendly and kind and helpful. Yeah, I'd love to come back anytime you want to have me. You just let me know. I'll come.
We want to have
jump
you
on that
again
plane.
and again. We love
Okay.
your work, sir. Thank you so much for coming to Jeddah.
Everybody be good.
Thank you. For those of you who have watched my vlog about Stanley SuperCon in 2022, you recognize this wonderful lady, Rachel Litfin, and she represents this project of hers, the Chronicles of Royal High. This is Rachel's personal project, and she always cosplays as her characters. Now, what I came to know last year was that Rachel's work sold out at Stanley SuperCon, and she has been seeing a lot of success over the year. I want to know, on behalf of the community, Rachel, what is new this time?
So what's new this time is that our next book comes out March 2024. It is the Chronicles of Royal High novella, The Siren's Talon. It's a standalone tale connected to the universe of Royal High that follows the sirens in Edenarth. We get introduced to them. We ran a Kickstarter for this. It launched last weekend actually, and we've already closed in on our goal. We have smashed our goal, and it is running through the rest of the month of December. These will be available next year. I hope to come back to Jeddah in a year from now with the new book in hand. We are also in the works of producing an audiobook. I am so excited for that. 2024 is going to be a very big year for Chronicles of Royal High.
Rachel, thank you so much for coming to Jeddah again.
Thank you.
And we look forward to seeing you again and again.
And again and again.
Wish you all the best. I'm here right now with Mustafa Musa, who is known in the comic book universe as MostafaInk, and he came all the way from the US. For those of you who might not be aware of Mustafa, he but he got a big break in Marvel Comics by working on Marvel's first family, the greatest comic book magazine in the world, the Fantastic Four. Not only that, he was instrumental in basically having a separate limited series for The Thing.
That's right.
So if any one of you who grew up in Saudi Arabia in the 1980s, we all used to watch the Thing animated series. The Thing was big, and Mustafa took it to the new level. And right now, behind me is Mustafa's work, and in front of him also, he has done marvelous art of all the famous pop culture properties that are there. So, Mustafa, how has your trip been this far in Jeddah?
I've had a great time. Honestly, I'm worn out and I love it because the people here are great, the food is great, the weather's a little warm, but I'm from Texas, so I'm used to it, and I love it. I love it here.
Okay, till now, you've been selling your artwork for various characters, even for the boys.
Yes.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But till now, which character sold out the most? Because I see a wonderful illustration of Galactus and the Silver Surfer.
Oh yeah. I would say that Batman and Spider-Man are very popular over here, but Batman's my favorite. He was my gateway into comics, so I love seeing the popularity of just all the characters over here. It's been great.
Amazing. We are looking forward to having you here once again, Mustafa.
Oh, absolutely. I'm ready.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks so much.
Mr. Hiroshi Kanatani is here. And again, another famous artist who has worked on properties like Izenborg, Rajal al-Hadidi, Ultraman. And he is here to meet all his fans, because obviously Saudi Arabia is a huge market for anime as well as Marvel and DC. Guys, I'm here right now with the Paradise Planets, Sean Burrows. Sean Burrows, am I pronouncing your name correct?
Barrows, you're
Barrows,
right.
okay.
Yep.
Sean Burrows is here all the way from the US. Now this is his personal project, the Paradise Planets, as you can see. But there is something else about Sean, and that is that he had the opportunity to work on a Spider-Man TV project. First, I want Sean to tell us what the Paradise Planets is all about, and then we're gonna ask him about his TV project for Spider-Man.
So yeah, the Paradise Planets is a musical science fiction book series. It's like a Ready Player One, Ender's Game, Percy Jackson. It's based on the science of sound and acoustics, where the power source is music.
Right.
Based on sonoluminescence, a real science out there. It's nuclear fusion powered by sound. Anyway, so it's kind of a Thor origin story in a sense, like Wizard of Oz, hero's journey. The main character is kidnapped and brought to Earth in the future, and she has to fight her way to get back. So it's all about the friendships that she makes. It's all about the struggles to get back. It's that underdog story, and what I love about it is I wanted to create the friendship bond that you see with like Lord of the Rings with the four hobbits. I love that there's a group of four kids. They have that just like this bond they create, and they're helping each other to survive this world and make it back. And so yeah, that's the Paradise Planets. As far as like like I said, it's a musical, so there's 9 songs that go with it. As far as the Spidey thing, so what I did was a thing called Spidey Beats. It was a musical comedy based on Spider-Man and Deadpool. It was actually pretty hilarious. So my friend, my comedian friend, who's an actor in LA, he dressed up as Deadpool and I dressed up as Spider-Man, and we did all these musical spoofs that, it's a Spider-Man. It was our own little television series. We had a pretty good audience for a long time, and it was hilarious. And actually the guy who played Deadpool is in my audiobook. He's playing one of the main characters in my audiobook.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, the lady you see over here is Naomi Barrows, the better half of Sean.
That's right.
Okay. And Naomi, are you like doing a cosplay about the Paradise Planet so that people can get immersed with their story?
Yep, I am. I'm cosplaying the main character. Her name is Cassiana, and he wrote the main character based off me, my personality. I didn't know that until I read the first draft of the book, so I started reading it like, she sounds very familiar.
I'm really glad both of you came to Saudi Arabia to showcase your talents.
Thank you.
And I hope you guys have enjoyed the kind of response you have received
Definitely.
from the community.
Yes,
We'd love to come back.
We want to come back.
We want
Absolutely.
you to be back.
Yes.
We do. Yes, we do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm now heading to the celebrity booth to get my poster signed for Stephen Amell.
As I walked towards the booth where Stephen Amell was seated, I couldn't help but notice the huge booth which was booked by Otaku Arab. This showed the clear disconnect, the contradiction if you will, between what the exhibitors, what the event organizers had intended versus what the community actually wanted. The anime presence was right in our faces, whereas the biggest crowd puller that we would find would be Stephen Amell, not McKinney, not Stephen Ward. Now this cosplay really spooked me out. Highly impressive. Coming back to the point, celebrity like Alex Garfin, I mean, okay, it's okay that you bring in somebody from Superman and Lois, but we definitely needed someone who was the crowd puller. Why? Just see for yourselves. I mean, Red Robin, Miles Morales, these are the people who come for Comic-Con.
Stephen Amell is right now attending a panel, and all of us are waiting for him, and many of us are sitting down on the floor, as you can see. Line is finally moving for Stephen Amell. And my phone battery is about to die down also, so I hope I make it. After a long wait, my hands are shaking like with excitement. I'm so close to meeting Stephen Amell, Oliver Queen.
As I wait to meet Stephen Amell, here's another cosplay highlight that I'm sure you're going to like.
It's done. It's official.
Of all the cosplayers I came across in the audience, the Spider-Man fan base did not disappoint. Some might get the impression that most of the cosplayers that came in from the side of Marvel were all about Spider-Man. Of course, we cannot disagree with the level of popularity that exists for our friendly neighborhood web slinger, but even I came across this fan X-Men who was wearing the Dark Phoenix Saga t-shirt, and then this odd couple, a spooky odd couple. After coming across this TikTok booth, which was offering something very good for creators and anyone who uses TikTok, the opportunity to have a 360-degree video, I decided that I needed to check out the statue museum that was present at Comic-Con Arabia.
Allah yahdik al-afiyah. Stark Museum, aka Faisal Dusar. He is the owner of this wonderful museum. Faisal has even a life-size statue. Yeah, Faisal, can you tell our audience you have a museum in Riyadh and in Wadi al-Dawasir, sir?
Yes, that's
So, the statues that we are looking at, mathalan, this one, is available in your museum in Wadi al-Dawasir and also in your museum in Riyadh.
Before it was in Riyadh.
Okay.
Now you go to Dawasir because Luffy maybe after 30 days will be here.
So Faisal, follow him on Instagram. His handle is Stark Museum. He came all the way from Riyadh, and just look at the quality of statues that he collects. This is his personal collection. Once again, he's the man.
Thank you.
Thank you, Habibi.
After the museum, I decided to check out the Artist Alley and to see what kind of a presence there existed for all the local vendors who had participated at Comic-Con Arabia. And once again, as I come across the sponsor booths, what I noticed was that a lot of sponsors from last year weren't there. And sadly, this time around, most of the vendors that I came across were representing anime, with only an exceptional few that had a good amount of Marvel and DC merchandise available for sale. Comics, Funkos, as you can see here, a beautiful collection of, but to be fair, most of the sellers came in with the anime merchandise, and this again points towards the disconnect that I have been trying to highlight since last year. This for example, this vendor has few comics, but most of his items are anime items. And even some of the vendors who were selling Funko Pops, they had mostly anime related Funko Pops, with the exception of Funko Pop KSA. Funko Pop KSA, whose booth we saw earlier, was offering DC and Marvel related Funko Pops in good numbers. Then we had some concerts happening inside of the venue to keep people entertained, and then I ran into
Comic Con. Yes. One of the community members. Kind enough.
I saw him in YouTube. Also last year.
God bless
Have
you.
fun and enjoy.
Thank you so much, man.
Welcome.
Always a pleasure meeting a community member.
How are you?
هلا والله. كيف حالك؟
تمام، شو اخبارك؟
والله ماشي الحال حبيبي. والله هذه تصميم اوف جرين ارو. لا مو خفيف يا اخي. لا تقول لي كده يا اخي. ما شاء الله. Salah Cartoons participated last year. His work speaks for itself. Just look at the illustrations that he has done. Wonderful guy. And this guy always comes straight from Bahrain.
Yes.
Yani, this is how much he loves the community in Jeddah.
I live for it.
Take care, man. Wish you all the best. كيف حالك يا عسل؟
الحمد لله، ايش اخبارك؟ انت كويس؟
والله ماشي الحال يا
انا
طيب.
من اول قاعد ادور عليك ما ملاقيك.
اليوم بس خلي. كانت صعب مرة.
مرة تعب.
مرة تعب وصعب.
الله يكرمك.
Abdul Hafiz makes these beautiful illustrations and he develops them as frames, as posters. You can put your coffee mug on it, and even, you know, just to cover your hot coffee cup. One of the finest talents in Jeddah.
As I proceeded forward, more locally inspired merchandise, then again the same old anime merch that was widely available. And then you have this oversized gaming area.
Day 2, and quite a lot of people have come in already. This is before 4 p.m. Of course, it's a Friday, so a day off for most. Let's see how day 2 comes about. It's 4 p.m., 4:30 p.m. and people are already lining up to meet Stephen Amell. Even yesterday, the longest line belonged to Stephen Amell. Lots of cosplayers, a lot of DC Marvel cosplayers over here, old and young. And this is just the start. Even yesterday I came across a lot of great cosplayers from DC Marvel. Unfortunately, my phone died out. We have the Joker.
Hello.
Bebo, my brother.
Hey man.
How you doing, man? Cosplay.
How are you?
Superboy.
No.
Bizarro
Max.
Superboy.
Max.
Give me 5, man. Casey Jones.
If there's anyone or any group that deserves to be commended, it's the community that's based here in Jeddah and in Saudi Arabia. The level of dedication that they show towards their cosplays here, as we can see, the attention to detail speaks for itself. It doesn't matter if it's anime, if it's DC, the effort that's put in must be commended. So before the cosplay competition began, I thought, why not try out this 360-degree camera stuff The competition, like last year, had 50 cosplayers who were showing off their work of art, I might call it, because we just need to see how they recreate the scene for their favorite characters. Some of them just ended up having a cosplay that was quite challenging physically to execute, as you can see from this cosplayer who couldn't manage to hold on to his wings. And I ended up waiting just to see the most impressive performances, like this one by Bat family, the Tayyab Bat family, where we see Oracle getting attacked by an Elseworlds Joker, the female Joker, or the Martha Wayne Joker, and she gets saved by Batman Ninja. So it was an interdimensional crossover scene that was recreated by the Tayyab Bat family, and it was quite refreshing to see that such a take was at play during Comic Con Arabia. Then there was another cosplayer who cosplayed as the Batman from Matt Reeves' movie, followed by a Michael Jackson anime fusion. I'm not much aware of this concept, this property, but seeing Michael being represented after all these years was a very, very emotional moment, because I grew up listening to his music, and Smooth Criminal was a very important part of for anyone who grew up in the 80s as a Michael Jackson fan. But then somehow this anime character gets involved and this scene reaches the conclusion. The best part was the Spider-Man cosplay, where we saw some level of athleticism that would give us that Spider-Man experience. Now hold on to it. It's not just rolling on the ground. It's a proper somersault. This cosplay really won over the hearts of every Spider-Man Marvel fan. And he didn't just do it once. He did it many times. And this was quite surprising. In fact, a minority, but nevertheless a very impressive costume for Call of Duty Modern Warfare. And then there was Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I got the chance to look at this guy's costume up close, and boy, did he do the hard work. He was really impressive. As the competition proceeded, we came across mostly anime cosplayers who were really showing their dedication to their craft, and the way they had recreated scenes from their favorite episodes, from their favorite animated features. This was something that needed to be appreciated, whether we are anime fans or not. And equally, we even came across an organization that is offering professional makeup services for cosplayers all the way from the UAE. As you can see over here, this was probably the most properly detailed costume that we had seen throughout the night. And as the night proceeded further, We came across different characters ranging from Ben 10 to DC, Marvel, and the list goes on and on. So for example, this competition entry where we see a talk show type of a scenario that involves superheroes, this would be something that would easily take 10 to 15 minutes of the time. And if you multiply that by 50 entrants, let's assume that every entrant requires 7.5 minutes. So how many minutes would that be? This becomes like really painstaking for those who are trying to cover the event and who are also as audiences trying to watch the event. But for what it's worth, enjoy this recreation of this momentous scene from The Dark Knight that involved Heath Ledger's Joker.
We're here to pull your head off. How about magic trick? I'm gonna make this pencil disappear. It's gone.
Before I conclude my vlog, this is the final act that I found pretty impressive that involved all the DC supervillains, namely Reverse Flash, the Riddler, and the Batman Who Laughs. Enjoy this.
He's doing this! This way no one ever solved it! Not even Bruce the Bat solved this!
Well, maybe you are not as smart as you are.
I took the SATs, I'm smart!
Well, maybe the Batman would solve it.
The Batman never solved this!
What, Batman?
Riddle me this, Flash. Who's dead? Us! Since you have the balls, go fight him! No, you stepped up, so you have to go! Go back! No! No!
There's only one of you left.
I surrender! I surrender, please!
So, Comic-Con Arabia comes to a close, and compared to last year it was slightly better, but I won't call it a complete turnaround because it's still there is a disconnect between the community that exists not only in Jeddah but also in Saudi Arabia, because by the end of the day a lot of people decide to travel to Jeddah if they find that their superheroes are going to be celebrated.
Second time. كيف حالك؟ enjoy اليوم؟ كله حلو؟
الحمد لله.
Best than last year.
Better.
Yeah.
بس مو best.
مو the best.
Best. ستانلي سوبر كون 2019 2022 وثالث سعودي كوميك كون 2017
هذا first one.
يعني مرة أفضل.
Because the guest this time
guest, the community. شوف, if I invite you, you will come, right?
صح.
If I don't invite you,
I will not come.
طيب. So they say Comic Con, but aslan they say manga, anime.
That's clearly Comic Con, not manga and anime. Comic. Yeah,
This is the culture.
صح. يلا, nice to meet you.
Same here.
See you again إن شاء الله.
لازم حبيبي. God bless you, brother. God bless you. So you heard it from one of the community members here, and basically my point is you just can't keep on calling Comic-Con, and then what is happening is that most of your guests are actually representing the anime and the manga world. What you need basically is that you need to invite more. Yes, there were people from Marvel and DC, but more was needed. Much more, much bigger names were needed. So these are my 2 cents.
Let me know what you guys think about this year's Comic Con Arabia. Share your comments.